Good morning. I am back. Hello. And I'm going to start this at the beginning. I've been away for a while and I'm back in the groove. I feel like I'm a teacher back on the first day of school. So, hello. Good morning. I am Kirsten Peck. I am a semi-retired high school teacher. Maybe I'm on sabbatical. And I kind of ran away to live my best life here in Puerto Rico. I've now coming up on my 4th year anniversary in a couple weeks. I'm so excited because I have been on my own transformational journey for the past few years, and I have been writing books to help people through this process. And so a really strange part about my life is that I kind of live it every day, in that I have become an existential thinker. I really enjoy problem solving. And so I have taken the time and really dedicated myself to social studies and sociology, philosophy, and really then applying that into the world today. And practicing being a philosopher is kind of a weird thing to be doing. I have to say that first out, okay? So, as you're with me and now you're learning more about me, thank you for finding my channel. Please subscribe, follow along, because I am on an incredible adventure, and that's part of my value system, which is why I was able to decide to move here to Puerto Rico a few years ago. But the real heart of this matter is that I believe we have within us our values, our creativity, our different types of intelligences. And they didn't get that well mixed when we were in school. They didn't necessarily get tapped in to your real potential. And I know that myself. I got directed into business school and to frankly be an accountant when maybe I really should have been this philosopher my whole life, because I've always wanted to be a philosopher or an artist, but that was never like acceptable. So I've figured out a way for people to make these connections. And I got somebody saying hi. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Please subscribe and follow along. I am here introducing people to my new creative space. I hate to call it a classroom or a workshop because that sounds like too much work. And it's fun, it's creative, it's really pushing the boundaries that we all are facing. So thank you for subscribing. And I really want to help people figure out whatever their life problems are that are holding them back, because it's within our own minds and our own mindsets, our own fears of the things that could happen in the future, our own weight of the past, of the history and the family things that have happened in the past. And how can we really get ourselves focused to our best future? So this is the point I'm at, and I'm really refocusing my own life. As I said, I've moved up here a couple of weeks ago. Give some tips. Number 1, stop, exhale, kind of take that other perspective of stepping back from your life. It's really hard to get off the treadmill of where it's going so that you can step back and look at it. So that's what I've been doing for the past week or so. I've had company visiting me. My family came. I showed them all of the things that I was in the middle of. I got feedback, good and bad, I have to admit. And I have to use that power and use that feedback to help me move forward. And that takes me being in a state of confidence and a position of strength, which gets me back to my mindset. Because if I were here and I'm alone and I'm sad and I'm worried, I would be in this defensive position of thinking. I'd be worried that they wouldn't like what I was doing and that they'd want me to come back to the States and they wouldn't approve and all of these things. I would put that negative shield out there. And instead, I was confident, I'm happy, I'm secure, Yes, I have a plan. I know it's different than most people's plans, but that's okay. That's why we're all unique. That's what makes us all special. And so to be able to say, be confident in your own abilities, have that courage, because it takes courage to step back and look at yourself. Analysis and self awareness is really scary and it's really hard. And the more I talk to people about this, now that I'm up here and I'm literally doing it in my yard, out in the garden, I'm hearing it from so many people that those fears and that baggage stuff. So that's my mindset tip. And it's a crazy tip, but I'm going through it and I'm doing it myself. And so I have to admit, let's take this for a bit of a walk, okay? I get tired of just sitting here talking, always being focused on me. I want to turn this around. So let's go for the walk, okay? Here's where we're at. I am in my garden. I have this incredible space, a sanctuary, a private thinking getaway for reflection and for really a diagnostic activity of kind of checking your own self, checking your pulse, checking your values, and then looking at the world and checking the problems. Either we've got our own health and body problems and issues, or we have problems in relationships, or we have problems with money. And so if you can kind of step out of your problems, step out of that daily push, which I know is scary and hard. I know. If the bills are late, if you're worried about the phone bill, if you're hungry, and now rent's going up and prices are up, I get it. That anxiety level is there. And so I've spent this my own retreat getaway time that I'm advising people to take. I did it. And now I've sat for 2 days on the computer doing my research and thinking and planning and adjusting what I'm doing, getting it realigned, refocused, remixed. And I'm like a mile ahead of where I would have been if I were just continuing along on a path that I thought was set. So my Oasis de Artes, yeah, that was a good experiment. It helped me get my thinking out. But I'm not really an art studio and I'm not really teaching how to paint watercolors. I'm teaching how to solve problems. So in my own redirecting, in my own path of my own coaching program, yes, doing it on myself, I'm like, wait a minute. So the Best Life Remix, that's the guide, that's the framework. I'm improving it, I'm updating it, I'm remixing it, which I think is funny, to remix the remix, but I'm making it into a quest. Because life is a journey and you need to know your direction on the quest where you're going. And so here's the starting line. And yes, I'm using all of my roots and all of my passions and all of my gifts, every single one of them. That's the second. This first step here is I've set up my garden down there. This is the remix fountain, La Fuente. And the queen back there is your gratitude. Because yes, everybody says, here somebody's telling me their sexuality. Awesome. Use that as your power. Use that as your force, your energy. You're spectacular because you've got that. It's not a negative, it's a positive, which is a mindset. And that's a flip. It's a flip of a switch. And so, yeah, I'm still using art. I'm still writing in the mornings and I'm still kind of keeping my schedule. But I'm switching it back to this focus on our best life and having the tools that you need that maybe you didn't get taught at school because school didn't teach it. Okay, whatever. They didn't teach it. Move on. Get it now. And it's funny to me as a reading teacher because it's reading standard number 6. And it's the toughest skill that nobody likes to do. And yet you got to get it tweaked up a little bit. Let's go with the race car. You don't want your engine running funny. You need new spark plugs. You go get them, right? And if you want to play a game of golf, then you need to make sure that you've got a good pro that knows the right clubs to use when and tells you how not to swing it so that you'll actually get the ball down the lane. So that go to a coach, go to somebody, but then you got to listen. And you got to change up a little bit about what you're working on. So yeah, somebody's saying, where am I? Hello, good morning. I'm in beautiful Puerto Rico. I'm up here in the mountains of Camuy, Arriba. And so I'm both a tourist destination now. I'm opening up my garden of creativity and life solving problems. But I'm also expanding it back online because the materials are easy to pick up. It's like a box of markers, a spray can of paint. It's about your imagination and a pencil and a journal and being real with yourself, being honest with yourself and respecting yourself. So back to my first question here, respect and truth, I think are the values that we need to focus on. So I'm offering you the respect to share your viewpoints, to have some private conversations, to trust each other because we have to figure out how to work together. Take time out of your life. Stop and think. And not just your own thinking. Think about your neighbors. Think about your kids. Yeah, think about the families that your kids go to school with. We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same situation. But actually, we all have different kinds of boats, so that's a bad metaphor. See, I catch myself on these things. Like I said, it takes time. Sometimes you're going to have to revise something and rework it, but that's what makes it better. That's what gives us purpose. So I'm enjoying the nature. Let me zoom in here. I went to the beach the other day. And we picked up all of these really cool shells and things. I'm fascinated by the patterns in our world. I see the patterns of our social world and what's happening online. Check this out. Oop. This was all wet and waterlogged the other day. So yeah, explore your destination, discover it. I've got the program, I've got the space, and our best life quest is right here, right now. Let's go. So excited. Awesome. Someone's saying hi from India. Beautiful. I am again outside of San Juan, Puerto Rico. I'm used to saying that. I'm in the mountains, actually, Camuy, out on the West Coast. Love San Juan. I was there the other day. So yeah, this is my quest, and I invite everyone to join me. Best Life Quest is soon to be on the books, in gear. Our nighttime salon, where we really talk about the situations of life. Nighttime dialogue, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. Look for more details, okay? Thanks for following along, asking questions, and I'll be back tomorrow. Every morning, back now in the garden of our imaginations. Awesome. Thanks. Have a great day. Talk to you later.